Hello, I'm Zash, and welcome to episode 7 of my G-Senjou no Maou, or Devil on G-String, Let's Read. Joining me, as always, is my co-reader Faith. Last episode, Kyosuke and Aichi got caught. Usami saw right through their plan. But they only got yelled at by the teachers and not suspended. So, could have gone worse. Then, Kyosuke just went home, did some work for his dad, and had a nice little late-night chat with Tsubaki. The next day, a Saturday, Kyosuke had a meeting with Gonzo. We discussed Maou, who was moving in on Yakuza turf. On the way back from Gonzo's estate, we saw a penguin being assaulted by children. It turned out to be Usami in a costume, and we are going to dinner to ask her about Maou. Please enjoy.
This is kind of hard to believe.
What is?
The great Azai-san actually asking for help.
Usami and I sat in the coffee shop, Lapis Lazuli, a little after 6 o'clock. This popular hangout becomes a restaurant at night. I never asked for your help.
But what a strange pairing.
I'd ship it.
Crack ship!
You and I?
I'm concerned about what we should do in the event that someone mistakes us for a couple.
You're pretty annoying, you know that?
She is a little bit. I know. I'm well aware that you hate me. Don't be so dramatic seems more like what he would say for his outward kind of...
Oh, please. I just have no interest in you.
Ellipses.
I'm like that to everyone. What am I saying? She, of all people, isn't someone I can speak openly with. Yet, for some reason, I told her this.
I see.
Usami's eyes showed a little sympathy. Wait a second, it's the weekend. Why are you wearing your school uniform?
Because it's so cute. And, I don't have many clothes. But that's not really what you wanted to talk about, is it?
I have a feeling that's her only clothes.
Yeah. How poor is she?
True. I'm here to talk about Maou. I skipped to the point.
Here it comes.
Tension appeared on Usami's face. Are you looking for Maou?
Are you as well, Azai-san?
Yes.
Why so suddenly?
Ellipses. What can I tell Usami? I can't mention anything about the Azai Corporation. Last night, I received an email.
From Maou? What did it say?
I can't say for certain that it was from the same Maou, but it said, "O come, lovely child, O come thou with me, for many a game I will play there with thee." Purely in hiragana, that was all.
There's no doubt in my mind.
What makes you so sure?
So why do you want to find Maou?
This woman isn't listening to a word I say.
Wouldn't one normally treat such an occurrence as a prank?
I'm helping my papa with his work. Didn't Tsubaki tell you about that?
Mao's in the way of your dad's work?
Precisely. I'm just trying to help papa.
And what exactly does your father do?
That's rather direct. I can't tell you that.
I see. Can't tell me, huh? I'll remember that.
Now I'm just thinking about a Telltale game things. Usami will remember that. What do you mean by that? So what about you? Why are you looking for Maou?
I have a reason.
A reason? What reason?
I can't tell you that.
Kyosuke will remember that. Damn. Then at least riddle me this. What clues have you come across so far?
Clues, eh?
Usami closed her eyes.
Maou is Japanese, or at least well versed in the Japanese language. He has also received typical Japanese musical training and education.
Ah, I suppose that seems likely.
O come, lovely child. O come thou with me. For many a game I will play there with thee. The way he translated Go's poem here just reeks of a German language textbook in Japan. Furthermore, people outside of Japan know that the Japanese language uses kanji. Play, game. These are all simple enough kanji that even foreigners would know how to use them properly. Since he used hiragana despite that, we can probably assume that he was intentionally going for a creepy vibe, and that he enjoys playing around with people in order to get a reaction out of them. I could say that.
Yep. This girl came up with that much using just a single line of words? Yeah, Kyosuke, you're definitely Watson in this relationship.
Yeah. And, at the very least, Maou is someone who knows your email address.
True. Nevertheless, this isn't enough evidence to single out anyone.
So I take that to mean you have a lot of friends?
You're not here to profile me. What about you?
Me?
You transferred schools at a bizarre time. Did you do it to find Maou?
Correct, but...
But what?
May I order some food?
Go ahead. Come to think of it, she's only had water so far.
Well then, I'd like a roasted fish set.
They won't have it. Can't you tell that just by looking at this place?
No, I'm not used to high-class restaurants, so I never know what's on the menu.
So, you do have a cute side. That's cute.
I guess. Sorry for being on the cute side of disgusting.
I take that back. She's not cute at all.
It just doesn't feel right when they don't list the set meals on the back of the menu.
Usami stared at the menu, giving off the aura of a normal teenage girl for once. I'll just order something for you. Is there anything you don't like?
Tomatoes. Actually, I just thought it would be cute to say that.
Ellipses. Weird lady is weird.
Yeah.
I ignored Usami and placed our order quickly.
As you said earlier, Zai-san, I'm here in Tomenbetsu City in pursuit of Maou.
In pursuit? You've been following him for a while?
Yes. I've been searching for him for years.
And you still haven't found him?
No, but I have been beginning to grasp Mao's criminal methods lately.
The waiter poured some orange juice into her cup. Usami sucked it up little by little like a woodpecker. The way you drink is disgusting.
Sorry for being like a penguin.
That was nothing like a penguin.
Anyway, for example, Maou always uses children for his crimes.
Ellipses.
Did you hear about the recent arrest of a gang of young thieves? It happened around the end of the month.
No, I didn't.
Oh? You seem so well informed, yet you don't even watch the news? Even talk shows haven't been able to shut up about it.
Nope, doesn't ring a bell. I read 2 newspapers a day, and I check the news on my cell phone every chance I get, so why?
Oh well. Anyways, a group of 5 kids raided a consumer loan reserve. And not only once. There were 10 raids within 3 months. Supposedly the losses hovered around 50 million yen. The only thing that caught the public's attention, though, was that these kids only targeted what you would call loan sharks. Really corrupt guys. They were probably going for some kind of Robin Hood image.
Ellipses.
It seems they were very good at what they did. They used tricks one don't usually sees in jobs done by American crime rackets. The 5 of them moved together as one.
Then how did they get caught?
There was some infighting because the money wasn't shared equally.
Something about this made my heart race. So basically, what happened was, the brain behind the operation, Maou, taught the kids how to commit crime and let them carry it out, which makes this incident identical to the one I'm investigating now, which in turn resembles the way that I, as the brain of the Yazai Corporation, use people.
Maou believes that children make the best pawns. Since they lack life experience, their naive tendencies ensure that they can be brought easily to the path of evil.
That's exactly what Azai Gonzo thought when he took me in. Still, that bit of news alone brought you to Tomenbetsu?
Yes. I'll follow any trail I find.
You're pretty persistent.
That persistence has cost me a pretty penny in moving charges.
That might be why she's so poor.
True,
Usami grinned.
but this time I know for sure. This time I can challenge Mao head on.
Why?
Because while I was chasing him, I found you.
She was staring at me again, as if seen through the depths of my pupils. Me? My heart jumped again. Usami drank the juice in her disgusting way once more, and then said,
So you're going to be a hero, huh?
Then all
Ellipses.
My memory felt jumbled and disorganized, leaving me in discomfort. Usami, I'm sorry. I took out 2 10,000 yen bills and placed them on the table. I don't feel so well. I'm heading out.
I see.
Remember to return the change next time. I stood up and sighed. Contact me if you discover anything about Mao.
Okay. Let's find Mao together.
I left the restaurant without looking back.
Kyosuke-kun.
The wind coursed by him as he stepped outside. A horde of tall buildings stood all around him, blocking the moonlight. Not yet entirely awake, Mao walked up the steps like a sleepwalker, wandering purposelessly through the night. Usami Haru. A name slowly emerged from his lips. A girl appeared from the sea of his memory. A gallant, heroic figure. I remember now. Mao felt his head clear as confidence filled his heart. I see. The daughter of Usami. I see. The snapshots in his memory snapped into place, probably trying her best to find me. And not only Usami. Azai Gonzo and his wild beasts should all be anxiously scouring for Mao right now. Depending on the situation, the plan may have to be changed. There was still time to revise it before Mao's magnum opus was set into action. Even the slightest obstacle could be a premature end to the long-awaited fruit of his ambition. Still, I must give Usami Haru her fitting punishment. Mao laughed. It might be fun to have a strong hero as a rival. A number of intricate plans began to come together in Mao's head. Usami Haru, eh? The little hero has finally grown up. Let this girl pay for her parents' sins. First, allow me to gauge the hero's capabilities. Let's play a little game. Usami Haru, how far can you go? Mao disappeared into the darkness of downtown Tomenbetsu City with light footsteps. His head didn't ache anymore. The cool night drew its curtains.
On this particular Sunday, like on any other, Central Boulevard hosted a sea of people. And as usual, Usami Haru walked to her part-time job with her head hung low. She moved forward slowly, ignoring the people around her.
Looking depressed as always, aren't you, Usami?
Oh, morning, boss. A bearded man in an apron welcomed Haru.
Didn't I tell you to get your hair cut?
Sorry. Please don't bring up my hair again, or I'll have to get angry.
Then I guess I'll have to let this one slide.
Sorry. Haru bowed slightly. The manager shook his head in response as he opened a crate of perfumes.
So, Usami, why do you always wear your school uniform?
Because it's cute.
Yet you don't wear makeup?
I think I'm plenty hot without it. The manager let a disappointed sigh escape from his lips.
You don't have any friends, do you?
I have lots of friends. Especially you. You're like a father to me.
Hey, I'm not even 30 yet.
Haru yawned as she stretched her back and neck. After preparing herself for a day's work, she entered the store. The usual, right? Hold the sign out front and shout to people, trying to get them to come in.
Yeah, but before that,
The manager reached into the pocket of his apron. What's that?
a guy with long blonde greaser-style hair came by a little while ago. He told me to give you this.
It was a folded piece of paper. A letter, perhaps.
So, was that guy a friend of yours?
Nobody says greaser anymore, boss. And no, I don't have such a friend. The manager was a good man, despite, as Haru suspected, frequently lying about his age. Haru glanced absent-mindedly at the manager's beard as she unfolded the note, and after scanning its contents, she couldn't help but raise an eyebrow. The penmanship itself gave Haru an eerie, unsettled feeling. The writer had used a straight edge to trace his strokes, presumably to camouflage his true handwriting. Some letters had even been cut from magazines and newspapers. After taking a deep breath, Haru asked, "That blonde greaser, what did he say?"
Why do you ask?
The manager raised his eyebrows. The girl before him was not the Usami Haru he employed. Her piercing eyes fired straight through his entirety.
He asked if Usami Haru worked here, part-time.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Haru tensed up. Time seemed to have stopped. Her mind analyzed the facts with incomprehensible speed. And finally, as if to signify her understanding, she raised her head. "Sorry, boss, but I can't work today."
Wait a minute. You can't just decide that on your own.
"I'm sorry, but this is an emergency." She bowed deeply.
You know, I could tell from your interview that you were a few strings short of a piano.
Interesting choice of words.
Yeah.
Sorry for being such a weirdo.
Well, you've never been late before. You volunteer for overtime when you're only a part-timer. And you even use that penguin costume to draw customers, even though I never even asked you to. You do seem pretty hardworking, at least.
I appreciate your kind words and all, but to be fair, that costume is just a hobby of mine. The manager thoughtfully scratched his beard.
All right then. But in exchange, I want you working overtime tomorrow.
Haru flashed a big, happy grin. "I love you so much, boss." Haru dashed out into the busy streets. She parted the crowds like a boulder splitting through a fierce current. Without letting the deluge of people slow her pace, she marched forward through Central Boulevard. As she moved, Haru thought about the strange letter.
O come, lovely child, O come thou with me, for many a game I will play there with thee.
From this, the first line, Haru could tell this letter indicated a challenge. The rest of the letter served to ignite her heart into a mighty conflagration, for at its end was her mother's name.
I am here in Tomenbetsu City. Let us play a game of tag. I will be attending the hunt immediately. To Kaoru.
Kaoru is one of my favorite names, actually. Like Japanese names. Kaoru is the name of Haru's beloved mother. She was a violinist. She took Haru with her as she traveled all around the world, captivating the world over with her marvelous performances. Her mother was always so gentle, yet so strong. Oh, there she looks kinda cool.
She's got her game face on.
Maou, calm down, she told herself. If you let your emotions get the better of you, then you've already lost. She couldn't believe that would actually contact her. "Oh come, lovely child. Oh come thou with me. For many a game I will play there with thee." In that particular Schubert piece, no matter how much the child cried about the devil, his father refused to believe that the devil even existed. No one could find this fabled Erlkönig, this devil, this Maou. "If no one else can find you, then I'll smoke you out of hiding myself."
It's time. It's now noon. Wearing a black suit, Maou blended in naturally among the crowd of businessmen in the business district. As he walked among the people there, Mao's heart swelled with malicious anticipation. It's been a while since he had sent that letter of challenge, passed on from one person to the next. The letter should have arrived in Usami's hands by now. What would she do when she saw that letter? I wonder if she'll search around the city aimlessly. Maou looked at the cell phone in his hand. If Usami isn't a total idiot, she will soon call this number first. Let's just see how cunning you really are.
Haru already knew where to go. She didn't waste a single minute. Even though the letter from Maou looked meaningless at first glance, he made sure to place a hint within those words. Coffee shop, Lapis Lazuli, the same place that Kyosuke took her yesterday. She pushed open the door and walked in. She immediately surveyed the premises. If Haru's reasoning was correct, Maou should have come by here. However, she could not find anyone like him among the customers. Just then, a man who appeared to be an employee called out to her.
Welcome. A table for one?
Haru thought for a second before answering confidently. My name is Usami Haru. Excuse me, but did someone leave a message for me? The host seemed relieved upon her words.
So, you're Usami-san. Yes, someone did indeed leave a message.
As he said this, he disappeared behind the counter. After a while, he returned with a small bag.
Someone told me that when I see a strange girl with long hair, I should give this to her.
Who left this in your hands? Haru asked as she took the bag from him.
A young girl, but she said someone else asked her to do this.
Haru immediately realized that the young girl was one of Mao's children. Odds were he was using several intermediaries to get in contact with her. It would be difficult to trace any of these agents back to him.
Hey, didn't you come here with your boyfriend last night?
Boyfriend?
He wasn't your boyfriend?
I'm kind of embarrassed. Haru left the coffee shop after offering her thanks. As she walked out, Haru opened the bag. She found only a thin cell phone inside. She examined the cell phone from top to bottom. It was an old model of disposable cell phone. Here on Central Boulevard, you can find a lot of unemployed foreigners selling these phones. Even if the police were to investigate this matter, they wouldn't be able to find the phone's original purchaser. It would appear that he knows how to cover his tracks. Haru turned on the phone. There was only one number listed. The number was listed as his. Does he want me to call him? Her heart raced. She dialed the number with sweaty hands. At that moment, the din of the city no longer reached her ears. After precisely 10 rings,
a weak vibration came from the left side of his chest. Maou grinned. Someone's calling. Trying to suppress his excitement, he took out the phone. He waited for his caller to speak first as he imagined Usami's beautiful voice.
Maou, right?
He was taken aback by the abrupt voice. Maou quietly opened his mouth. Did you enjoy reading my letter? There was a brief pause as if she was gathering her nerves.
What do you want?
Usami spoke in a low voice. All I want is to play with you, Usami.
To play such a childish game?
You mean that letter? Indeed, that was a bit too simple.
That letter was easy to decipher.
Ellipses.
I'm here in Tomenbetsu City. Let's play a game of tag. I'll be attending the hunt immediately.
Next line caused Usami's voice to betray her. She could not conceal her anguish as she recited the final words.
You coward.
Your mother. Indeed, she was a beautiful woman. He intentionally chose biting words as if playing the part of a typical twisted villain. But This did not deter Usami Haru in the slightest.
The key lies with the third line.
I will be attending the hunt immediately, right?
It looks innocent enough, but within that line, Maou, I discovered your location.
Would you be kind enough to explain yourself as well?
It was addressed to Kaoru. On the surface, my mother's name only served to identify the person receiving the letter, but it's also an important hint.
This really was a simple puzzle. I'd be quite disappointed if she couldn't even solve this. The purpose behind this puzzle lied elsewhere. That was an unfortunate accident. I held nothing personal against her. Again, he tried to play with her emotions.
When you change that third line's ka to ru, you uncover the true message.
Usami ignored Mao's words while continuing to describe her solution to this simple puzzle.
In that third line, when you change the ka in hunt, kari, to ru.
Even during her last moment, your mother thought of you.
The line says, I will be attending the ruri immediately.
At least spare my daughter, she kept begging and pleading with me.
Ruri, of course, the Japanese for lapis lazuli.
During this entire exchange, Usami Haru did not show a hint of anger. Your mother was very strong. I love strong people. What about you? Maou had hoped that his refusal to let the dead rest would unleash the darkness within this girl's heart, that it would reopen long-closed wounds. Nevertheless, Usami said bravely,
Although my mother is dead, I am still alive. And I refuse to die until I capture you, Maou.
Maou felt satisfied. This girl is daring indeed. Very good. Well then, let's continue with our game of tag, shall we?
Even as she listened intently to the phone, Haru continued searching for the location of Maou. Ignoring the demon's scathing words, she instead focused on the background noise. After a while, she discovered some clues. I understand now, Haru said.
What do you understand?
I now know where you are.
That sounds quite interesting.
Someone is giving a speech near your location. Haru again concentrated on the background noise. Part of the speech included the name of Tomobetsu City's mayor.
So, you noticed.
His tone implied it would be more strange if she hadn't. I can find out where the speech is being held by going to City Hall.
That won't be necessary.
What?
Excellent. You have great observational skills.
Haru finally understood the true reason behind Mao's challenge. He wants to test her. She was in a terrible situation. She didn't expect her opponent to find her workplace. Even though Haru still doesn't know his identity, Maou already knows hers.
I'm at central business right now.
Should you be telling me this?
Do you even know where that is? You've only just moved into this town recently, after all.
You certainly know a lot about me.
I know everything about you, hero.
When people tell someone they know everything, it's usually to cover up their insecurity at the fact that there may be something they don't know. Maou scoffed at that.
You have a sharp tongue as well.
He certainly sounded happy, but his words seemed a little artificial. As a result, she still couldn't figure him out. And unfortunately for her, he was always guiding their conversations.
Indeed, I wish to know more about you. Otherwise, why would I actively seek you out, Usami Haru, who hates me so much?
Even when Maou talks about himself, he never gives anything important away.
There's a big park near Central Business.
So,
Can you come to the bulletin board there?
will you be waiting for me there, Maou?
My, you're so impatient.
In order to better understand each other, shouldn't we meet face to face?
A very enticing proposal. Unfortunately, I must respectfully decline.
It seems Maou has no intention of showing his face.
Come capture me, Usami Haru.
This is a challenge.
If you are indeed worthy, then I shall be your opponent.
And with that, he hung up the phone. Haru sprang into action. She caught sight of the Sano Corporation headquarters. The park was nearby, somehow escaping the shadow of the gargantuan skyscraper. It was quite a beautiful scene. The park was surrounded by an assortment of bustling businesses, making its presence even more pronounced. The bulletin board was at the center of the park. Under normal circumstances, it would display the general guidelines and park rules. Today, though, it's covered in red graffiti. At first glance, it appears to be the work of local delinquents. Close examination, however, reveals that the markings are actually a rather detailed passage. It was clear that this graffiti was the work of Maou.
From here, the hero must choose one of 3 paths. One path leads to Maou. One path leads to hell. One path leads to heaven. There will be more information on each path. Take care to examine it thoroughly. Truth is written on the path to Maou. Lies are written on the path to hell. Truth, lies, and half-truths are written on the path to heaven. Now, can you find where I am?
3 paths? Haru immediately began to search around the park. As was indicated, there should be a message located near the path. She soon found that message near the park's northern entrance. There was a steep staircase leading to the business district. The handrail of the stone staircase bore a short note in the same glaring red paint and long, slender lettering as the message in the park.
The exit of subway station 10 leads to heaven.
She could just barely make it out. Haru immediately absorbed the information. Station 10 just so happens to be Central Boulevard's main station. Haru could see several red-haired youngsters loitering near the exit. Haru carefully examined her surroundings until she finally saw another message on the handrail.
Warehouse number 3 along the docks of the Western District leads to hell.
The docks of the Western District. It was too far to reach by foot. However, if she doesn't go to that warehouse, she won't be able to solve the puzzle. Tag, indeed. Do you plan to have me run around the entire city, Maou? Haru walked down the stairs. There were just as many people in this underground passageway as there were on the surface. She bought a ticket, and now awaits the subway to the Western District. For someone as poor as Haru, the 250 yen ticket really is a painful expense. After about an hour, she finally reached the harbor. The winter sea quietly splashed against the docks. This part of the city is deserted on Sundays. Thus, she found the warehouses without fighting the crowd she had earlier. The third warehouse's number was clearly marked on its closed shutters. Haru searched for a message from Maou. She found a suspicious slip of paper on the shutter.
This is not the path to heaven.
After reading this final clue, Haru pinched her forehead. Now she finally has all the pieces. Which of the 3 paths should she take? The exit of subway station 10, warehouse number 3 along the docks of the Western District, and the path to Maou, the path to heaven, the path to hell. Which message corresponds to which path? Obviously, she needs to pick the path to Maou. In addition, truth is written on the path to Maou. Lies are written on the path to hell. Truths, lies, and half-truths are written on the path to heaven. Now Haru thinks about where she found each note. 1. On the handrail of the stairway near the park was the note.
The exit of subway station 10 leads to heaven.
2. Beside the exit of subway station 10 was the note.
Warehouse number 3 along the docks of the Western District leads to hell.
3. At the third warehouse in the Western District was the note.
This is not the path to heaven.
After sorting everything, she began to analyze the information. Suppose one is the path to Maou. In that case, the message found there about Subway Station 10, that it is the path to heaven, would have to be true. Oh, it's one of those puzzles.
Yeah.
I hate those puzzles. So then, the answer is, to find the answer, you only need to do some calculations. Just as she was in the middle of thinking, Haru's cell phone rang.
Are you near the third warehouse yet? Maou must have calculated the time she needed to reach here, and timed the call accordingly.
I just got here.
Did you receive the message then? This is not the path to heaven?
Yes. I just found it.
Maou glanced at his watch.
You really did spend a lot of time preparing for this. I can't help but laugh when I imagine Maou running around the city writing these hints.
I didn't have to do it personally, but I guess I'm honored that my work has made you so happy.
In other words, you have people working for you, right?
There are always people attracted to evil. But that's not important right now. Did you gather all the information?
Yes.
Maou thought to himself. This is just a test. Any capable person should be able to find the correct answer. Think about it carefully. I will be waiting for you. If you can find the answer in 5 minutes, then I'll give you a passing grade. See you later, hero. Just as he was about to hang up.
The third warehouse.
Ellipses.
If you think about it, there are only 6 possible scenarios. Within these 6 scenarios, you can disregard any scenario that involves the path to Maou and lies. You can also disregard any with the path to hell and truth. When you do that, the answer just pops right out.
Maou listened to Usami attentively. Indeed, anyone with a good sense of logic could quickly figure out the answer. If you discard all the unnecessary information, it really is just a simple equation. As Usami implied, one can just lay out the 6 possible scenarios and cross out all the ones that cannot be true. That said, Usami figured it out all in an instant. Plus, she didn't need to use pen and paper. She solved it all mentally.
So, Maou, are you done with the math lessons yet?
Maou did not respond. She really has a rare talent. A faint smile appeared at the corner of his lips. Usami Haru. Maou finally acknowledged Usami Haru as an opponent. From the research he had one of his people do on her, she did not seem to have any power, wealth, or connections. But she possessed a keen mind, seemingly unbelievable for a teenaged girl. I would say unbelievable for a teenager in general.
Unbelievable for a lot of people
Yeah.
in general.
Maou had thought that his only opposition would have come from large, powerful organizations like the police and influential corporations. In addition, this talented girl has been looking endlessly for Maou. Initiating contact with her this morning may have been a bit of a rash decision. His defeat may now lay in a place he had never expected. Usami would quickly break through the other games Maou had prepared. Well, it's not a big deal. Yet. She's still just a student. And it's probably safe to say that she has almost no information on me yet. However, Maou knew firsthand how far the combination of a talented mind supported by an unwavering conviction can bring someone. This hero may indeed find a weakness in Mao's carefully constructed plan. On one hand, Maou felt a rush of excitement from witnessing such a powerful opponent. On the other, in order not to lose his opponent, Maou felt a surge of his fighting spirit.
Yeah, those two are gonna bang like bunnies. The sun had set only moments ago. In its place came the strong winter wind, carrying a chill and dark clouds in its wake. Specks of light snow fell on the shoulders of Haru's school uniform before quickly dissipating. Pedestrians flooded the business district. At the bottom of the government office stairway, Haru awaits Mao's appearance. He will. He will come. After that exchange, Mao played another 3 hours of tag with her. Again and again he tested her mental prowess. In order to make herself worthy of being Mao's opponent, Haru ought to have shown enough of her strength to gain the right to challenge Mao. "O come, lovely child. O come thou with me. For many a game I will play here with thee." Mao may think this is just a game. This is a battle Haru will put all her strength into. Mao's final question was this.
If Mao appears at the bottom of the stairs of the government office, then Hero is not at the top of the stairs. Thus, if Hero is at the top of the stairs, will Mao not appear at the bottom of the stairs?
The conclusion. If Hero is at the top of the stairs, Mao will not appear at the bottom. If she wants Mao to appear, Haru must not be at the top of the stairs. In order to meet with Mao, Haru needs to stay at the bottom of the stairs. Only, he's taking too long. She could not see anyone like Mao among the passing people. Did I make a mistake? Just as she started to panic, she heard someone call her name. From above, Haru looked up the stairs.
Humans really are fascinating creatures. It doesn't matter how many people are around you, how much noise you hear. You will still turn towards the person who called your name.
Say my name! Haru realized that she had indeed made a mistake. She figured as long as she waited downstairs, Mao would appear there. During their prolonged game of tag, Haru had grown so focused on solving the numerous riddles he presented. So focused that she had forgotten that Mao may have set a trap within the riddles themselves. Mao now drew her attention freely, without worry, from a place where she could not see him clearly. A man in a large black coat spoke those seductive words, but he stood with his back to the light of the street lamp, washing his features into blackness.
Backlighting is a bitch.
It really is. Is this man Mao, or just one of his underlings? It's you, isn't it? Haru asked the mysterious person.
It's you, right?
He should be a man. She couldn't really discern the voice at all, though. She thought she may even vaguely recognize the voice. She couldn't even discount the possibility of the voice belonging to a woman. I am... Haru. The girl straightened her posture.
I am Mao.
She realized her whole body was trembling. Haru clenched her fists to suppress her apprehension. The fear she held slowly drew near. This is no longer a game. The battle has begun.
You're